Moving forward, ladies and gentlemen, we have a company that's background in production, moving into digital media. They're based in California, and they're here to introduce you to their website. So please help me welcome Dustin Cron, who shall be speaking to us on Ummah.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. So 13 years ago, I made the biggest decision of my life. I started studying Malcolm X, and with the influence of a lot of American hip-hop, I started studying the Quran. And these verses about ta'arif, that we've made you into nations and tribes to know one another, really profoundly impacted my life. And so I converted to Islam and decided to live a life beyond borders. But within the Muslim community in the United States, where I grew up, I didn't see that reality of what God is calling humanity to existing, to live a life where we know one another. So that's really the foundation of why we built this media company, is to connect people using media in powerful ways, impactful ways, with strong business models tied to it. So like I said, we're a digital media and film production company. We've existed for about a year. And we decided to launch our company focused on the most diverse and perhaps the most complicated of these global diasporic communities, the global Muslim community. And the way that we did it is kind of we're a Muslim-centric company that reports on things from a journalistic perspective. So we focus on current events and social issues of social justice, entrepreneurship. We create viral content, we curate viral content. We focus on global cultures, global social good, arts, education, etc. And within that year, since we've launched Ummah, we've had enough feedback that has told us to launch a broader brand, right? So this is a digital media strategy that many companies like Vox use, where you create multiple websites and you're able to sell all your data coming in to those multiple websites. So that's why we're building next the Life Beyond Borders website. So you all are at this conference, so you understand why Muslims. But I think what's important about Ummah is the way that we've really been connecting and telling this story about this emerging generation of global Muslim youth, from Kuala Lumpur to San Francisco, that we can all meet each other in different parts of the world, hang out, and have a whole lot of our worldview in common. So how do we tell that story online? Within our first year of operation, we had 15 million brand impressions across 200 plus global publications. And what's really interesting is that a lot of these were in very mainstream American publications, right? And so for us to have that reach has been pretty incredible. In Silicon Valley, where I live in the San Francisco Bay Area, media has been a major space of investment in the venture capital space, right? And it's the huge investments because of what it takes to produce high quality, the best quality media. But what we've seen is that there's a gap. Right? There's nothing that's really capturing this emergent generation, this global generation, in unique ways, and that's what we're trying to live into. Because we believe, like for the Muslim community as an example, that we have to change the story on three primary levels. That's how the world sees Muslims, how Muslims see each other, and even how we see ourselves. That's the level of impact that media can have. With all the work that we've done, we have enough data at this point to prove that there's a Muslim viral effect, where a positive story about Muslims, say it's in the BBC or whatever, can go super viral all over the world, but because markets are behind the technology and the global communities, people have had a hard time capturing that in terms of monetization. But we believe we can change that, right? So over this first year, we've also made nearly $150,000 with just me working on the sales side and hiring a few contractors, right? So almost no staff except for myself, and we've been able to do that. Like I said, media coverage all over the world, and that's only off of 4 jobs. Some of our stories are now being turned into books, short films, and we're beginning to shoot our first television pilot that we have an idea for, and that we just launched our first short film around. So how would we do it, right? So a distributed content strategy basically means that you're building a brand rather than even building a website, right? And so we're willing to build our brand across platforms, ranging from television to things like Snapchat, Facebook, Instant Articles, etc. and then beginning to build the new website as well over the next coming year. So this is the reach that we hope to have. We're around this number, monthly visitors over the coming years. We've spent a lot of time on business development because digital media is a really complicated space, and so people are figuring it out. And so the primary ways to make money are through video production and through licensing video content, right? Through creative content or branded content partnerships, which is where we've made money so far. Through CPM advertising, which we're putting down on the lowest important to us. And then also there's a number of companies like Monocle and Thrillist who've made a lot of money in the e-commerce and retail space. So we have a number of angel investors who are interested in our company. We're trying to raise a $500,000 seed round, and we need to add to what, we have around 100,000 of that taken care of so far, so we need to add to that, and that's why we came to Malaysia to see you all here at WIEF, and because we love Malaysia. It's a beautiful, beautiful country. And so we believe because of the way that we're living into this space, the idea of global diasporic media, I believe this could be a multi-billion-dollar company, because that's the way that media is growing right now. So these, in my opinion, these financial trajectories, they could grow to that scale. In terms of funding and usage, we're using to raise a CDO, like I said, seed investment. To use to hire co-founders, VP of sales and growth, our creative film director, managing digital media editors, etc. And then, and so these are a few quick examples of the stories that we've done. So this story is being turned into a book by the famous American author Dave Eggers. This video was translated into 15 languages and featured in The Atlantic. Many of you probably saw this article with 50 most innovative global Muslim startups. We're really interested in playing a role in creating the global Muslim startup ecology, and so we have a number of creative and innovative ways where we're working on that right now. And then this campaign was the most viral story online the week of July 13th, like in the English language, where we joined with some other people to help rebuild black churches in the South that were burned down in the United States by white supremacists. And finally, here's a still from the pilot, the first part of the pilot that we're shooting around this Ummah-wide show that we're trying to produce. So that's it. Let me know if you all have any questions.
Thank you very much, Dustin, for that presentation. Do we have any questions for Dustin? Well, thank you very much, Dustin, for your presentation. I'm sure if anyone has questions, they'll be able to address them to you off stage.